So I was born into a home where music was valued from the time I was along my earliest memory. And when I was in high school, my father did give me a little more advanced trombone to play, and said, you know, he couldn't afford to send me to college, but this trombone would have to get me there. And I worked on it. I would come to St. Louis, right across the street from the school here, and listen to concerts. I studied with a player in the St. Louis Symphony for my last couple of years of high school, and ended up getting a scholarship to help me go to college. And with my scholarship for music and for academics, I was able to get all my tuition paid, and it made a big difference in my future. And so, you know, I went to college and really enjoyed playing in groups. Really, I thought I was going to be a performance major. You know, my goal was to eventually end up in a symphony orchestra somewhere playing my horn. And I started teaching lessons at a local music store in the college town where I attended, and working with students from grades 6th grade all the way through adult age, working with folks wanting to learn to play the instrument. And I just enjoyed working with people wanting to learn a musical instrument and to help them with reaching their goals. And I loved how varied it was, and working with people different ability levels and that kind of thing. And so I decided to get my education degree and started teaching about 23 years ago, full-time at a school district not too far from the St. Louis area, and you know, have been in arts education related positions ever since. I had not heard about the school until, you know, maybe about a year before I came, and let me know of the opportunity, looking for a leader in the school. And since I had a background in the fine arts and had a background in curriculum development, had a background in administration, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to be in a building working with kids and helping students to achieve their goals through arts. I would have thought that a school like this would have been the perfect spot for someone like me. I wish I would have known about something like this, for a place for me to go to school. And I thought of, you know, this being a wonderful opportunity for me to a next place of service. I think, you know, what's unique about Grand Center Arts Academy is that you know, the arts and academics are center stage. They really are both at the forefront. You hear in some schools where they might focus on one and the other is a frill. They might focus on academics and the arts are sort of like window dressing. Where here, they both are, I think, equally important, and they're integrated in the classroom, you know, where that makes sense. And I feel like that there's a way to make content relevant to our kids because the arts are what is of interest to them. And so you can make things interesting to them and more relevant to their lives when you can connect the arts. One thing that we try to ask our teachers when they come for interviews wanting to come teach at the school is about their arts interests. I mean, for our math teachers and our science teachers, we don't require that that they're also practicing, you know, artists, but we do ask them, you know, about their understanding and their background with the arts and how they might envision the two merging in the classroom to help make the content more relevant to our kids. And so it's something that you know, our teachers just embrace here. You know, when I look at things like, you know, teaching in a physics classroom, there's a lot of connections to music, there's connections to dance, there's connections to all of these kinds of things. And so I have found that when students see patterns, they see connections, they hold on to that learning longer. And they can see the connection to their life, the connection to the interests that they have, connections between one course and another course that they're taking, that they can take and connect the two. The more synapses fire within their brain, and they hold on to that learning longer. And so, you know, this is a school where that happens. The arts are such an integral part of our life. You know, I think we think about the opportunities in our community. We think about arts have a way to bring us together, to communicate with each other, to work collaboratively. It teaches us to solve, you know, complex problems. It teaches us to think critically. It teaches us to express ourselves in ways that words maybe sometimes can't always convey, especially in music and in the visual arts and in dance. it gives us opportunity to interact with people from all over the globe. I think there's definitely a a way that the arts bring us together. I've been fortunate enough to play music on all but I'm trying to think, all but 2 continents. Music has taken me to the Middle East, it's taken me to Europe, it's taken me to South America, it's taken me all over the United States, it's taken me to Africa, and I've always been amazed that even when language is a barrier, from my experience, music, but in a sense, the arts in general have a way to bring us together and find commonality, find ways to do things together that we couldn't have done, otherwise, and understand each other, I mean, the arts, they bring us face to face with ourselves, and what we sense is beyond ourselves as well. I'm one that feels that you don't have to be sprinkled with the magic dust to be able to be an artist. Some people feel like only the arts are only for a select few, but the benefits that an arts education provide can help those that are planning to go into this as a profession, but can also bring some benefit to those that want to enrich their lives. And this is a place where we can have both, I think. Teaching students to collaborate, to work together in groups is something we learn within the arts. Teaching students to develop a discriminating ear when it comes to determining different aspects of what they're listening to and be able to understand about music or about art that they appreciate. I definitely think a school like this is a place where those can come together. And so we have both. But we want a society that supports the arts, that understands the arts, that finds a way to allow for the arts to be a part of their lives. When we think about when I talk with students and when I talk about what place the arts could have in their life, there might be they might choose to go into engineering, they might choose to go into something else, but I always tell students to keep music students that I've worked with before to keep working on their instrument, because they never know when they might have a community group that they can go play in, to get to meet people, get to be a part of a beautiful artistic creation. I think that those that have a background in the arts have a greater global awareness than those that may not have a background in the arts. Teaches us to appreciate other cultures, meaningfully appreciate other cultures and other points of view. And I think I think there is a benefit for learning art for art's sake. We hear a lot about learning art so I can do better with my math scores, or learning art so I can learn to be an artist so I can do better in standardized tests or whatever. And that's not the reason we learn about the arts. That's not the reason that we learn that we are pulled to the arts disciplines. I think it's because we enjoy expressing ourselves in different ways. We enjoy interacting with others. We enjoy hearing from others' expressions and seeing other people's expressions through art. And we communicate things that we would have trouble communicating in other ways. And so there is that's important for students, I think, to learn through their time here. And I think that's something they can take the rest of their lives, take into their lives that will enrich their lives, to help them to understand others and to appreciate beauty. I like to brag on some of the things that are happening in our school. Of course, this is our first year with a graduating class, and it's exciting. There's so much energy among the students, and when you talk to them about the possibilities, once they even leave here, but all the experiences they get to have as a part of the first senior class. There are a lot of firsts, a lot of celebrations. The first prom, and the first, talking about the first graduates and where they're going to go and what they're going to do. It's just really exciting to hear about some of their plans and some of their ideas. We have some students that are already having opportunities to go and actually be involved with art making full time when they leave here. We have some that have already signed with different colleges and made commitments to go and study their art in other places. So it's fun to hear about some of their plans. But I think the school has done a lot to help prepare them. It's very important. An important aspect of my job is to prepare our students to be, college and career ready. And we think that, I think that in order to be successful in the 21st century, you need skills like collaboration. You need skills like critical thinking and problem solving. You need skills like communication. You need to have a global awareness. You need to have an ability to interact with others and learn to appreciate other people's points of view. And the arts teach us that. They teach us to do that. And I think what we're doing is we're preparing our students to be college and career ready related to those different areas. And so it's exciting to hear that our kids are having success with placement in places that will help them to achieve their goals beyond here. We have some exciting opportunities. So last year was our first full-length musical. We had The Wiz. This year our students are preparing for a chorus line. We had a very strong Black History Month performance last year. This Thursday is our next Black History Month performance for this year, and our students have been preparing for that. It's fun to see all of the arts come together for these performances. I think the arts teach us about innovation, and in this particular school our kids have had an opportunity to learn about this idea of design thinking. Our makerspace was the first makerspace in the region, and now there are 30 of them in the area. So innovation in the way that our school was the first to have this kind of makerspace, and now we see them springing up all over the region means something, but also what the students are doing in the makerspace is really allowing them to develop that creativity and problem solve and come up with multiple solutions to problems. We have too many opportunities in schools where students are learning there's only one solution to a problem, but in an art school, in a school where we have a makerspace like this, or in other classrooms, our students are learning that there are potentially more than one solution to a problem, and it's okay to come up with more than one solution, and there might be a better way than what we've always been trying to do. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that we were able to do is to develop relevant courses for our senior class to make sure that they had what they needed before they leave here. We had to add, some things like personal finance and health so that our kids would have those to be able to graduate, because those are state graduation requirements. But we also added nearly 40 new courses for this year. And what's great about a school this size is that you can be pliable, you can be flexible, you can make adjustments based on the needs of our students pretty quickly. When I was in a larger school district, it might take 5 years to make something like this happen. We did it in a few months. And so we've added several AP classes. We've added several 1-8 classes through St. Louis University, where the kids are actually able to earn college credit for their courses. So before the students even leave Grand Center, they're getting an opportunity to take a college level course. So the chances of them being successful when they go off to a college is much higher now that they've had that kind of experience in a place where they have that they're very accustomed to. And so it's been fun to work with our teachers to have the training that they need to be able to provide these courses and to develop the curriculum and so forth, find resources that they would need to be able to make these classes happen. And so this has been an exciting year with lots of firsts. Let's start with theater. Of course, I'm proud that we last year had our first full-length musical, and are getting ready to have another musical this year. But this is also a year where we've started a thespians group, and so our students have got to be a part of sort of a connection to other thespians, around the area, and are learning about that organization. And so it's been fun. It's a sort of a service organization. So it's been fun to see them come together and learn how to support the different productions that we're doing. We had a Shakespeare play this year, A Midsummer Night's Dream. So the students are getting an opportunity in sort of the classics, I guess you would say, but also are getting a chance to do something more recent with a chorus line. So they're getting a breadth of experiences. Our middle school students, I was very excited to attend a performance where some of our middle school students had written their own play this fall, and they were working on some issues related to some of the topics within our social justice mission, and students were developing content that related to their own experiences, and they were able to present this work in their own voices this last fall, and so it was really fun to see them do that. Not only are students learning lines and analyzing scripts and doing those kinds of things, they're also doing their own writing here, and so it's fun to see their work. In the area of dance, we have some of our dancers that are going all over the country, winning awards. It's fun to see their work. Our dance program was able to be a great ambassador of our school. We had a charter school event downtown St. Louis a few weeks ago, and they were able to represent us, for those that were there for this particular conference. And our dance program has a very high standard of excellence. And that's when I talk to some of our dance teachers, they use that terminology. That all students can get to that high standard of excellence. It's about hard work, it's about discipline. These are skills that will help us be effective in our life and whatever we choose to go into, but dance is a great vehicle for teaching that. And it's great to see our students achieve quite a bit based on their hard work and their dedication. If I think about the visual arts, we have a fantastic visual art program here, and this is our first year to offer graphic design courses. We started offering photography before this year, and then this year offered graphic design, and so we have a full slate of different opportunities for our kids, from sculpture to ceramics to drawing and painting and all of that kind of thing. And so our students are involved with showing their work out in the community. We've had opportunities for that. We always have a very big show in the spring where you can kind of see the vertical articulation of our curriculum from 6th grade all the way through 12th grade, and to see the development and the progression of the skills that are learned within our program here. Some fantastic work. As a matter of fact, within our Black History Month performance, we have some of our visual arts students that have been developing these sound suits where they've been bringing found items and so forth together. Everybody's suit looks a little bit different and has a little bit different function. It's kind of fun to see our students express themselves that way. But our halls are just full of some of the work that they have done in their classes. It's fun to see that when the work has changed every few weeks, to see what more is happening in our classrooms. In our music department, maybe I can start with our vocal music area. Miss Christine Gage is our a cappella director, and has started an a cappella group that meets after school, and they've been very active in our community. We actually hosted a Midwest quarterfinal for varsity vocals, which is sort of like Pitch Perfect if you've followed them. And so our kids are very, very active in the a cappella scene. Wes Smith is our other vocal music teacher, and we had our very first student make the All-State Choir this past year that also sang in the Camerata, which he directs. And so both of those programs it's really fun to see their work. Our vocal music department just finished their cabaret, which was a kind of a showcase of our students' work. It was a dinner theater sort of thing, and really, it's fun to see the kids come together with all the different sorts of opportunities for them to perform, and how varied they are. Our string orchestra has been developing, and it just sounds wonderful. I got a chance to go sit in and actually conduct our string orchestra last week, and I was just surprised about how far they've come since the last time I even heard them in the fall at a concert. And so their skills are developing. There's some fantastic sounds coming out of that group. Our band program is growing, and as a former band director, I always enjoy coming down there with my instrument and sitting in with them and playing with them, and it's fun to hear them tackling very challenging music and that kind of thing. And so they're all coming together for this performance later this week, and it's fun to hear what they're working on in class. This is the first year that we've started a jazz combo, and I'm very proud of a partnership that we've developed with Jazz St. Louis just down the street. A good friend of mine works there, and we decided to come together and figure out a way that we can partner. We developed this partnership where our students go down there 2 nights a week after school and work with one of their instructors, and so get to use their space and some of their instruments, and are learning about jazz improvisation, learning about, you know, composition on the spot, learning about tunes, you know, tunes that come from the American Songbook, but also learning, you know, ways to interact with each other and collaborate in ways that are sort of unique to a jazz combo. Well, I've just got very exciting news that next year that this is actually going to be allowed to be during the school day, and they're going to still provide an instructor to come to our school, and it's totally paid for, you know, by grant monies, and so thankful for this connection. I think that this school ought to just be a place where a jazz program like that just ought to flourish, you know, especially with the resources that we have here. But our students take walking field trips to places like the Fox and the Sheldon and the Pulitzer. Our photography teacher, who's fantastic, Jess DeWeese, has taken them to different places in the area. There's a photography. It's a museum, right? It's a photography museum. The International, right? So our students have had a chance to go there. She's taken students to the Sheldon to check out even the instrument collection there, but some of the other artwork that's held there. So just the opportunities that our kids have in Grand Center are just tremendous. Our music students walk right across the street to concerts with the St. Louis Symphony. We were very fortunate last year to have David Robertson, the principal conductor and music director for the St. Louis Symphony, come and talk to our students. Just walked right across the street. He's been the musical director there for, I think, 11 years, and so last year was his first year to come to the school, and the students were very excited to ask him questions about his journey and about you know, what interests him in the area of music, and he connected with the kids so well, you know, and so it's fun to have these. Who can say they go to a school to have these kind of opportunities? I mean, I would have loved to come to a school like this, and our students are so fortunate. You know, this is definitely a place where you can come, and our students don't have some of the constraints you would have in another school. I was just meeting with our curriculum council this morning, and we were approving some new courses for next year, and our departments have worked hard to develop the course content and what they would like to be able to present to our students. And you know, in some schools, that's like I say, it's a 5-year process to go through that. Here, we made the decision. We're going to write the curriculum over the summer. We're going to get the resources. We're going to make it happen that quick. And then after each year, we're going to say, did it work? Do we need to make some adjustments, make some tweaks? We'll make some tweaks, and we go from there. It's not a lot of red tape. So students in the classroom can even have that kind of opportunity to create and to develop. I mean, this is an ever-changing society, and we're so connected through technology, and something could happen and then cause something else to happen, and we have to be able to be responsive to those changes. And this is a school where we embrace that. It's not something that's you know, where we get kind of into a rut. That's definitely not what the school, what the kids experience in this school. They experience opportunities for improvement and continual improvement.
Tell me about that.
And so what I love about this school is that students bring so many different things to their experiences here. So many different backgrounds, so many different ideas, so many different interests. And what I love about this school is that, you know, people just embrace each other. I mean, they celebrate each other. You know, the laughs and the laughter and the hugs that I see as students are coming back from breaks, they're coming back from, you know, even the weekend. You know, students come here from all places all over the city and many places in the county, and you know, it's just fun to see them interact with each other, to share in each other's experiences, to learn about each other. And the arts is a great vehicle to make that happen. You know, it's a way for students to feel comfortable expressing themselves and related to something that they're passionate about. So, well, I think this has to be one of the most diverse schools in St. Louis, both with racial diversity, with social economic diversity. we have students that come from places in the county that might be living in larger homes, and students that are coming from different places in the city. Some of them might be living in very meager places, but they come together and find a way to connect and learn about each other. You know, one of the reasons I wanted to come to a school like this is because the place where I had been serving for the last 11 years or so was not very diverse, and you just miss quite a bit. And when I came to the school, I was what's the emotion that I'm looking for here? I was just, I guess, energized by seeing so much diversity, so many different thoughts, so many different ideas, so many different ways of expressing ourselves. And that's so exciting to me that people can come here, and this is a safe place for them to express themselves. We have students that come to us from schools all over St. Louis. They may have had trouble in other schools being bullied because of maybe the way they express themselves in some way. And when they come to this school, this is a place where our differences are valued. They're what shape us as individuals, and I think it's a place where people can feel safe. They can feel free. To be able to be who they are, and without constraints. And that's what we want our society to be. That's what we want our communities to be. To people to feel when they're safe, they feel safe. When people feel that they can be who they are, that they can be expressive, they can achieve so much more than they would if they felt that they were constrained. And this is a place where those differences are valued. And so I think the sky's the limit for our kids because of that. Some people think that the arts are relegated to just those that somehow are born with all of this talent. And I have seen students that have come here as we have one young man that's a student here that just learned to play piano just like 2 years ago. Is now playing Beethoven sonatas and is playing Scott Joplin tunes and writing his own compositions. You know, more than 2 years ago, he may have not been having those kinds of opportunities. But being in this environment, I mean, the possibilities are endless. You know, and when you have that mindset, that growth mindset, that idea that that I can do things that others might think I can't do. And this is a place where you're encouraged to think outside the box and do those things. It's amazing what happens. It's amazing to see it.